What's up, guys? I'm back today with another Pocket GM21 video on the channel. And in today's video, we are going to be finishing the entire regular season and obviously hoping we can make a run at the playoffs. Currently 4-5. I just looked at the stats and we are top 10 in defensive points allowed, but we are bottom 10 in offensive points scored. 18 points per game on offense, 18 points per game we are allowing on defense. We're not having a good start to the season. I'm really hoping we can turn the season around. You guys can check out how the statistics look on the board. 9 touchdowns, 5 picks for Corey Van Noy. We really got to hope he turns it up here in the second half of the season. If not, we might see what we're going to do for some changes here. We might toss in Douglas here at the end of the year if we are not even in playoff contention. And then also, I might look at, what was the other thing I was going to look at? I totally forgot. But that's one thing we're going to definitely do. The other thing, we're going to watch a game in this episode. I'm going to try to watch a game in every single episode. We'll probably watch the last game, depending on if we're in the playoff hunt. And if we're not, we'll still probably watch the last game because Douglas will probably get that start. So let us head through here. Playing off against New England, this is going to be a tough matchup. We definitely need to get this W. And we lose 23-21. A pretty even game here. But it looks like their running back had a phenomenal day. So did Noyle as well. 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Corey Van Noy, both quarterbacks actually putting up phenomenal numbers. Van Noy with 250 and 2 touchdowns. Really disappointing we weren't able to get the W here. And we're going to move on to the next week of the season. And we do have another injury to our offensive guard really quickly. Looking like he is going to be out for 1 week with an ankle sprain. And we are going to move on to Las Vegas. And we do get the W, moving us to 5-6. 350 yards of offense. Actually, another similar game. Vaughn's going to have a good day today with 76, 49 for Noyle, and 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions for Corey Van Noy. 18 passing completions for 3 touchdowns and 218 yards. Happy with the W, and we're going to move on from that game as well. We'll check out the division, and it looks like our defensive tackle is going to be out for the year. Wow, that is not exactly what we wanted to see happen, but it looks like we're going to bring in the rookie for him. We're going to toss this guy on IR. Check out how his season has gone. 3 sacks for him on the season, 1 forced fumble, 4 TFLs, and we're going to be starting the rookie, see what we can do. Let's actually go look for defensive tackles in free agency. I almost feel like we should just kind of rock with the rookie, and if someone else gets injured, we can obviously toss someone else in. We could move Harrison back to defensive tackle, but I think we'll give the rookie a chance and see what he can do, and we'll go from there. So 5-6 on the year. We're still in the hunt. We'll see what we can do. We're going against San Francisco, and we get the big W's, 34-10, 500 yards of offense, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for Corey Van Noy. This is what we needed to see. Obviously, it's against a bad team that's really having a rough start to their year. You can see 4-8 on the year, and they've lost 4 straight games. But I'm happy with their performance today. Noyle, 130 yards on the ground. Phenomenal day for the team. Evan Gay Jr., the new rookie, our 3rd wide receiver, going to lead the team, and a touchdown as well. And that is going to bring us to 500 on the year, 6-6. We are 2 games out against New England, although if I can get to the schedule right here, it looks like we beat New England once, so we're 1-1 against New England. In the division, we've lost to Buffalo, we lost to New England, so it looks like, are we 1-2? So we beat the Jets, lost to Buffalo, beat New England. No, so we're 2-2. We're 2-2 in the division, so we really need to beat Buffalo and the Jets. Both of those games are going to be very, very important games. Wow. This is going to be a tough way to close it this year, but we'll see what we can do. We're going to move on to Arizona. We get the huge W, 7-6 on the year, 34-20, 400 yards of offense. Van Noy with another 4 touchdown performance. Whitehead had a phenomenal game for them as well. 70 overall quarterback throws, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Phenomenal day. And on the ground, Noyle, 63 yards receiving. Tryon is going to be the leader in that. He's up to an 87 overall. Wow, let's check out this overall here. And wow, this is not what we wanted to see. We lose our best defensive player, Cameron Parsons, for the year. We'll put him on IR. We'll see how his year was going. 5 sacks, 1 interception, 8 TFLs. That is a tough break for this team. Wow, that is a big drop. It does drop us 1 point. Let's see if there's any linebackers in free agency, and there really isn't going to be anybody out there. So that injury is really not what we wanted to see, and the team is going to take a little bit of a hit there with losing one of our best players, but I'm hoping Smelter can maybe make up for it, and we're going to be tossing in some. Gunter is going to be the new player we're going to be tossing into the team. He's had some okay years, but really hasn't played last year, and this year is going to be his first start on the year. So we'll see what happens here. We have a couple injuries that really could knock the team down, but really happy with the team's performance lately. And actually, what I went over here to check out on Tryon's development, +4 up to an 87 overall. Let's actually check out some of the stats for receiving. Tryon with 545. Even Bellamy's got 500. Evan Gaze almost has 500 as well. And Darius Benjamin's on his way to 1,000-yard year as well. So 7-6, we are one game back. We have a huge game against Indy to get the W here. It looks like we might have a shot there, having a rough year, and we get upset. That is not what we needed to have happen. Corey Van, wow, these quarterbacks literally put up very, very similar performances with the exact same yards and touchdown and interceptions. But wow, not the way we wanted to have happened. Their running back ran all over us, 117 and a touchdown. Running game couldn't get going with Noyle, and Tryon's going to be leading the receiving group again. Let's see. New England does lose, and the Jets do get the W, so the Jets are going to jump above us, and wow, that's disappointing. We're going to move on to Buffalo. This is going to be a tough matchup here. This in week 15. And we get the W, moving us to 8-7 on the year. 400 yards of offense, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick for Corey Van Noy. Noyle with another 100-yard day. I got to check out his stats on the year. He might be inching towards 1,000 yards rushing. He already has it. 1063 on the ground in his rookie year. 6 touchdowns, 226, and 1 touchdown through the air. Our offense is turning up here in the second half of the season. The defense, the rushing defense is kind of a little disappointing. But 8-7 on the year, we have a big matchup. Denver's going to be a tough matchup for us. And then we are going to close out the year against the Jets. So that could honestly be for a playoff spot to close out the year. We're looking at 3-2 on the year in the division. Let's see what we can do here against Denver. I'm hoping we can get the W. And we don't. We lose 20-10. This one might put us in trouble. Van Noy with 3 interceptions, 33 for 51. It almost feels like we completely went away from running the ball. I have no clue why. 8 for 24 and then 4 for 16. Van Noy ran the ball 6 times, our second leading rusher for 13 yards. That's really disappointing. Not what we wanted to see. And it looks like we might be in some trouble here. And we do have another injury. Let's actually check this out. Our defensive tackle is going to be out. Is that the rookie? Is going to be out. Of course he is. So we might toss someone. Let's actually check out how this postseason is looking. And it looks like we are out of the postseason. We are out, completely out of the postseason. 8-8 with 1 game left on the season. It looks like that's going to be it for our year. You guys can see 11-5 are the wild card positions, and we obviously cannot jump into that position. Really tough AFC this year, really tough AFC West this year, and we are not going to be making the postseason for our first time since year number 2. That is not the way we wanted to have things go. Our most losses in a season since, again, year number 2. And we're not going to the postseason. 27-13, much better year, but the last game really put us out of contention with 3 interceptions for Van Noy, and we are going to lose this one and be out of the postseason. We can check out the stats really quickly. The defense really turned up this year. Offense really kind of fell off. Very disappointing year for them, but we are going to give the start to Wayne Douglas in our last game of the year and move him up to a starting position. Corey Van Noy, I almost feel like we're not going to be bringing him back next year. We're going to have to see what we can do in the offseason, but let's see what our rookie can do against the Jets. They have nothing to play for. They honestly have nothing to play for, but let's see what we can do here. We're going to play this game. We're going to watch this game at 2 times speed and see what Wayne Douglas can do with this team and see if we can close out the year with a W. Obviously, we want to get the W. We don't want to be under 500, but again, it doesn't really matter because we're already out of postseason contention, and it looks like we're going to get 3 points on the board. Their quarterback is going to throw for an interception, and Wayne Douglas with an okay start here. 3 incompletions, and we do get on the board with a touchdown with Noyle, and it looks like he's going to get a 1,100-yard year at least, so he's having a phenomenal year for him. Really disappointing the way some of these games turned out, and just disappointing we weren't able to get into the playoffs. But let's hope we can close out this year on a good note, on a high note, and get the W against the New York Jets as we take a 13-0 lead into the second half. Really happy with that. And let's check out some of these stats. It looks like Wayne Douglas is going to throw an interception. So that's okay. It is okay. We'll see what we can do here. They do get on the board with a field goal, cutting the lead 13-3. Only 140 yards of offense, or less than 140 yards of offense for them as we head farther into the second half. And we do get on the board. No touchdown again. That's going to go to Vaughn for a touchdown. No touchdowns for Wayne Douglas. I want to see him get a touchdown in today's episode, but we'll see what happens. We do get another field goal on the board, 23-3. It looks like we might walk away with this one. We're keeping the Jets under 150 yards of offense. It's really disappointing the way the defense played and the inconsistency on offense that we really just couldn't get things going. So really disappointing. And we do get on the board, and it looks like Wayne Douglas is going to throw his first touchdown of his career, 30-6, as they do get another field goal there. And it looks like we're going to take this W 30-6 to close out the year with our backup rookie quarterback in his first career start. 276, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Noyle on the ground, 79 yards. Not too bad. Vaughn, 24 and a touchdown. And that is how we're going to close this one out. Tryon leading us again. He's led us in receiving for the past couple of weeks. I want to check out their quarterback and see what his overall is. But we're going to close that one out 9-8 with a huge win. But we're not going to the playoffs, and that's really disappointing way to close out this year. 1 game out of the playoffs. If one of these other games during the year could have gone our way. Really disappointing way to close it out. We went 4 straight losses to begin the year, and that's not what we needed. Kept losing to some division opponents. We finished 4-2 in the division on the year. Lost to Buffalo, which is a bad loss, 25-18 in our losing streak, and we also lost to New England as well in a tough-fought game. Really disappointing we couldn't get the W there. Beat some good teams, but lost to some good teams as well. Really, we're hoping we could have get that big win on the road in Denver, but we're not going to win this one. 13th ranked offense, 3rd ranked defense. The defense was phenomenal this year, and we're going to check out some of the final stats and close out this year, and then in next episode, we'll go over the offseason game plan and see where we are taking this team in the offseason and what we want to do as we head into the new year. 4,261 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions for Corey Van Noy in 16 games. So one of his better years, kind of went back to his normal form with 4,200 yards. He probably would have had closer to 4,500 yards, maybe even the potential to hit over 30 touchdowns for the first time in his career. But we really had to give that start to Douglas. We really had to give that start just because it really didn't matter. And honestly, in my mind right now, I don't see Corey Van Noy coming back for next year, but we'll have to see what we do in this offseason. On the ground, Noyle really going to be a big pickup for this team. 5.5 yards a carry, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air, and 260 yards receiving. I actually want to check out how many fumbles he actually had on the year. Where is that? 4 fumbles, not great, but again, 1,100 yards, I can't complain. I think that might be our first 1,000 yards rusher on the team. Vaughn is going to be doing have an okay year. 3.8 a carry isn't phenomenal, so we may look to get rid of him. He is on the last year of his deal, so we could bring him back. We could look for another player as well, but happy with the performance on our running game. I know it doesn't show very well on the team, 22nd in the league, but I'm really happy with the performance. Darius Benjamin kind of went cold here as we closed out the year. You guys can see he really closed out the year very cold, and Tryon ended up leading the team in receiving for the last couple of weeks. 820 yards for him, 600 for Bellamy. Phenomenal year for the backup tight end Evan Gay Jr. with over 500 yards. Vaughn's gonna get 300, and Noyle with 300, close to 300 as well. 16 sacks for Smelter. That is insane. What a phenomenal year for the guy. 10 for Zay Alexander. I can't complain for some of the defensive players on the team. Walker Stevenson didn't up his total, and Terrell Lamar is going to close out the year without missing another kick from when we checked out a couple of weeks ago. I want to check out some of the stat leaders of the year and see where we stand. Corey Van Noy with an okay year, kind of top 10-ish almost. and he's going to be also top 10 in interceptions. On the ground, top 5 rusher. That's insane. That's exactly what this team needed. We needed to pick up a player that we were going to be happy with on the ground, and we definitely did. So happy with that performance. Through the air, again, Benjamin, kind of up there, kind of not up there. Went a little cold there to close out the year, but I'm really happy with his performance. Receiving, Bellamy's up there as well. Happy with his performance as well. And Smelter leading the league in sacks. He could be up there. Well, I don't think he'll get Defensive Player of the Year because this guy had 9 forced fumbles. That's disgusting. But a phenomenal year, going to lead the team in sack or lead the league in sacks, and then also 2 players in the top 6. Phenomenal year for the defense. Really happy with that performance. Trelamar is going to come in the top 5 in kicking percentages. I guess Elliott doesn't really count, but so top 3 in kicking percentages. Really happy with that performance as well. And then punts, not great, kind of middle of the pack. So not too happy, not too disappointed. I'm disappointed we didn't make the playoffs, but I am happy with how this team closed out the year and how the defense did look. So we'll have to see what our plan is here in the offseason. Let's sim through the playoffs to see what goes on, see how some of the teams in our division actually ended up faring, and it looks like the Jets win their first round matchup against Cincy. Moving on, Pittsburgh and Detroit do get the 1 seed. Pittsburgh at 13-4. Detroit at... Are they 13-4 as well? Detroit at 11-6. Wow, like kind of a rough NFC this year. But you guys can see 2 teams at 13-4 in the AFC. Really strong AFC. Obviously, the reason we didn't make the playoffs at 9-8. Not that I thought we really deserved it. Points scored. It looks like we actually scored a lot of points, or fair good a point. Looks like we're probably like top 10 in points scored. Maybe top 15-ish. And then defensively, under 300 points allowed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're one of 6 teams, or one of 7 teams if you count us, to make it under 300 points allowed on the season. So I'm happy with that performance, but we're going to move on here. We'll sim through the rest of this year. I know this episode's probably getting a little bit long, and it looks like the 1 seeds win, and it looks like it's going to be Houston, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Detroit for the NFC and AFC titles, and it looks like both 1 seeds are going to be going on. I think Pittsburgh's going to win this one, and they do 37-15. I think we beat them in the regular season. Their quarterback throws 4 touchdowns in the Champions Bowl and gets Champions Bowl MVP. Smelter finishes 2nd in Defensive Player of the Year, and Noyle is going to finish 2nd in Rookie of the Year. Very disappointing. Really wanted to see him get it, but this guy had a phenomenal year. 231 fantasy points for that guy and 196 for our guy. And again, 137.5 compared to 110.5. So phenomenal years, all pro. Are disappointing our running back didn't make it. I'm hoping he makes all conference bowl, but he didn't. Kind of disappointing. But we check out here. It looks like Zay Alexander is going to make it, and then Smelter with the all-pro performance as well. And it looks like we have a couple offensive guards here in the the conference bowl players. Zay Alexander, of course, Smelter, of course, and that's how we're going to close out the year. 2 players all-pro, 4 players conference bowl, and it looks like we're disappointed that you didn't make the playoffs this season. We're therefore going to move on and find a new GM. Wow, we just got fired from the Miami Dolphins, and we are going to be needing to find a new team in the offseason. That is crazy. Wow, it looks like we should have moved on from Corey Vandeweghe earlier than we did. And we build the pieces around this offense, and we can't do enough. And it looks like we're going to be in the hunt for a new team as we head into next season. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Crazy ending. Really disappointing the way this year closed out, but I'm having so much fun with this series. So I hope you guys are enjoying this as well. It's fun to see all the storylines with the players, and obviously now with our career, to see where our team and see where our guy is going to end up, and see what we're going to do here as we head into next year. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you guys in next episode, which will be a crazy episode as we find a new team to start over this rebuild. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in next episode.